Hi, it's Catherine here at Cat V Stitches and welcome to my channel about cross stitch. It has been 3 weeks since my last confession, so I thought I'd try and maintain this 3 weeks cycle. And we have Sasha here with us today because she knows I have a little tub of treats here, and oh, she gets quite insistent. There you go, you go, you go, there you go. Okay, now bugger off, no more treats. Okay, so hi to any sorry, she's knocking over everything here. To any returning viewers, welcome. Thank you for coming back, and for any newbies, hi. This might be a little bit chaotic because I don't think she's going to leave me alone until she gets the message that there's no more treats. But if you do like what you see, please do think of giving it a thumbs up and maybe subscribing if you are so inclined. But anyway, as I said, this is my channel about cross stitch and sometimes a little bit of knitting, and there will in fact be some knitting today, but primarily it is cross stitch. So brief introduction. It's, as I said, it's Friday the 22nd. It is actually 7 p.m, so I'm trying to get this in before the light disappears completely. I've just got back from the hairdressers actually, so I'm in a really good mood because the lovely Debs, who is my hairdressers, gave me what was about a 10-minute head massage as she was having a good gossip with the woman that was waiting for her colour to set. So I enjoyed it, and by the time she'd finished, I think she'd realised that she'd been giving me this head massage for that long. I'd practically fast asleep, comatose in the chair on the sink, so sorry, this cat. So I felt absolutely wonderful at the end of that, I'm telling you. So whatever stress I carried into that hairdressers, I certainly didn't take it out with me. In addition to that, and this may be a little bit TMI, but for those people out there who, like me, have a bust that's on the slightly larger size, I am wearing a new bra today that has been properly measured. So I haven't been to get a measurement since the start of the panini, and I went this week, and so I have a proper bra now that fits me correctly, and I feel nice and supported. And I'm telling you, at my age, my boob size, that's an amazing feeling. But anyway, it is also the weekend, and this weekend I am planning on participating in the 24 hours of cross stitch. So that's why I'm doing this video today instead of Sunday as I normally would, so I can get this out of the way, and then for the next 2 days, just literally, I have told everybody that they're not allowed to contact me, that I am, you know, having a me weekend, so that they're all to leave me alone, because I spent last weekend carpet cleaning at my parents', so I need this weekend to just chill. So yes, that's what I plan on doing, as much cross stitch as possible until the madness starts again on Monday. But yeah, I'm feeling good. I'm feeling a lot more chilled now than I was about 3 hours ago, so I am really looking forward to tomorrow now. I have to get up early anyway to inject one of my cats who is diabetic, so I can get a good start on that tomorrow and, you know, have fun. But anyway, let's get on with the main event, which is showing what I have worked on in the last 3 weeks. So what I'm going to do is the same format as I did last week, which is basically just going to go through in order of when I picked up the project, the whip, the last 3 weeks, and so it could be a mix of things. Although to be honest, there is only one finish, and funnily enough, it's actually the first thing that I picked up. But yeah, I will just run through them in order that I worked on them in the last 3 weeks. Okay, one more, and then this is empty. There is no more after this. Look, see, there's only the one in there, and then you need to bugger off because... Ow! Okay, sorry, she was a bit too eager for that treat. There, it's gone. There's nothing else left. Are you going to go? It's all gone. All gone, sweetheart. Okay, sorry. Right, let's get on with it. My first wick that I'm going to show you is my FFO, and it's one that I am very pleased with. It is my Prairie Moon, and it is Last Tango. There you go. Okay, there we go. I absolutely love this. Sorry, there we go. So it is done on 28 count Haunted by Picture This Plus 2/2 using the called for silks, and yeah, love it. So this goes with the other one that I've recently finished, which is Stitch Night. So this is Prairie Moon. It's part of their Crypt Club collection. Now, I know there was a comment, I think it may have been on Instagram about this, about they like these patterns but they haven't been able to find them. So I may not have actually said at any point, but these, you can actually get the PDFs for all these patterns now. They're not necessarily the cheapest, but they have their own website. So Prairie Moon have a website, and you can get all of these patterns by PDF, which is how I got them all the ones I've got, I should say. I've not got every one of their patterns because that would basically bankrupt me, but for the ones that I have. So yeah, and this is just a straightforward black frame, but I think that's all this needs. It works really well with the blue, and obviously there's a lot of black in this anyway. So yeah, I am really happy with that. So normally this goes there where that's hanging, but I just thought I would take it down now to show you because I love this. And I may as well go into this now, but this is one of my planned starts over the weekend. Is another one in the series, and it is, where is it? It's the zombie one. So this is in my Love You More studio bag that I have all my Prairie Moon ones in, and it is, oh, zombies. Can you see that? Yeah, there you go. So I think that's so funny, and I love those colours. I'm going to be doing this, as I have with all the others, on 28 count Picture This Plus. I bought a job lot of it when I realised I was going to do quite a few of these, so I've got my fabric ready because I've got a couple of other of these patterns as well that I'm going to eventually do. And I have my threads all ready to go. So this is a mixture of Belle Soir, 1 or 2 MPIs, and 2 Karen water lilies in there for the 2 zombies. But there we are. So this I am planning, I mean, anyone that has been watching my videos for a while now will know me and plans when it comes to stitching don't necessarily, you know, they're not set in stone, let's just put it that way. So whether or not I do start this, who knows, but I plan on starting it, so that's the important thing. So that's my first finish. And then while I was finishing this, because what I tend to do is lace these. Well, I had a number of cross stitches that are finished ones I'd done, where I had kind of like partially finished them, but you know, not really laced them and just whacked them in any old frame, just to get them out of the way and just so I could see them. So what I did one day, not last weekend but the weekend before, I just spent the entire day doing nothing but properly lacing them. So Stitch Night is one of them, and previous to this it had been in that frame, but it had just been very roughly put in there and wasn't really secure in any way, so I stitched that one. As I said, I stitched this one. Let me just put this down here out of the way of the cat before she steps on it. And then I also did 2 others. I did my Cricket collection, Master and the Macabre. I put it in a proper frame, stitched it up, straightened it up better, and that just looks, straightened it up, and it just looks so much better. So that's Master and Macabre Cricket collection. That's a 28 count as well. I think it's raw. It's just Swigart raw, that. And the other one I framed properly and laced was my Happy Halloween. And as I was doing this, I realised that I had missed some stitches on this. So these cats, I don't think you can really see them, but the cats have those yellow eyes. Well, I'd only done it for one of the cats, so I was able to finish, do all of them, and I did the back stitch on the witch. So, and I think that just looks with this purple. I dyed this myself with this black frame, just a simple black frame. I think looks really good, so I can't wait until I can get this out properly at Halloween. So I did those 4 things, and by the end of it I was a much better lacer. So it was good practice. Okay, next thing I did, oh, cat's come back to say hello. Excuse me to let me grab a drink. Not Diet Coke. Now, I'm not giving it up entirely because I need some caffeine in my life at the moment, and I don't do drugs, so Coke won't do it. So I need something. I have basically said I can have 1 Diet Coke a day, but I have to drink a ton, like a ton of water at the same time. So that's the deal I have with myself. So I've already had my Diet Coke for the day while I was at the hairdresser's. No, there's none left, sweetheart. It is empty. I'm sorry, it's all gone. So leave everything alone. Sorry. Right, next thing I worked on was Kraken by Quiltify Design. So that is what it will look like when it is finished. Let me take that out of the shiny bag actually. There we go, that's what it will look like. Yeah, getting cat tail out of the way. Sorry about all the writing, that was when I was sizing it up and deciding what thread to use. And this is what it looks like now. So okay, before I go any further and before I forget, I'll just say a blanket thing for all pieces I will insert in, and where I have them, pictures of what it looked like last time I showed it, so you can see the progression. I may completely forget to say it as I'm going through, but I will in editing insert what needs to be inserted. So this is what it looks like now. And this is a 32 count. This is a Witchel. I think this is Amazing Grace. I should still trying to hunt around for snacks down there. This is just 3 colours, and the alphabet here I'm going to have C and V for my initials, and then on either side of the Kraken at the bottom there it will have 2022, so 20 on one side and 22 on the other. So I have all the ships are on there. All of that is done. I need to do some more of the people on this side, and then I'll just do all the back stitching. But yeah, absolutely love this. I think have I done all the, oh, and I've got the Kraken and the rest of the alphabets too, obviously. But yeah, I think this is looking so cool, and I bought a frame for this because this I've got another Kraken one by Ink Circles that's framed in my lounge, so this is going to go with that. But I've really enjoyed working on this, but I have made a mistake and it's haunting me. But let me show you. So on this boat here we've got this guy here. Now he should actually be a couple of steps down because his head needs to go there, and what's going to happen when I put his head in there, it's going to be touching his foot. So what I've decided to do is to wait until I do that, and if it looks fine and doesn't look ridiculous, I'll keep it where it is. But if it's like I just can't take it, I will have to frog this out and move it down. Luckily it's just that it's not connected to anything, so it's not that much of a hardship to do that, but I'm leaving it in for now, so I'm going to see what it looks like once I've actually put the head on. But other than that, everything has matched up, which I was, you know, that glorious feeling you get when you're doing the border and you won't know until it gets close to it, whether or not it matches up. So I was very happy when this matched up. I mean, it is a fairly simple border, but it was still nice to match it up. But yeah, there we go. The Kraken by Quiltify Design on 32 count. And I am using, let me show you the colours. Are they in here? They should be in here. They are in here. I'm using Gloriana. Right, I can never pronounce that correctly, so I won't insult people by trying, but that's that one. So that colour it's this purpley colour, and that's the people. It's Pacific dark blue for the boats and the border, and then dried pink rose for the Kraken and some of the lettering. So there we go on that. That may be finished next time. You know, I'm not pressurising myself to finish it because I wanted to concentrate on one of my heids. But yeah, that is the Kraken. Really enjoyed stitching on that. So next we have my Plum Street. My hair will never be this nice again, by the way, until I go to the hairdressers again. So I thought, you know what, why waste it? Let's do this video while it looks this nice. I am not this good at doing my own hair. So this is, find the packet. So this is Buzz Off by Plum Street. I also have the pattern that accompanies this, which is Eat Crow, which I will start, that one, and I will start that when I finish this. But here we go. This is where I am up to on this one. Oh, no, hang on, that's upside down. All of that is going to come falling out. That's not a good idea. There you go. So, this is on the called for fabric, which is 36 count vintage beeswax. How amazing does that raven look? Just absolute, or crow, or whatever it is. It looks so cool. It's charted for 1/2, so one strand over 2 of the weaves, but I didn't like the coverage. I don't like that sparser coverage, that more primitive, more prim coverage. So I'm doing 2/2, which I think still looks lovely. My stitches look absolutely fine to me, so I'm very happy with it. So I'm trucking along nicely on this one. I'm working at the moment on getting this done here. This repeats at the top, but I just want to get this bottom done, because once this is done I can then move everything up, because all of this is complete now. So yeah, so that's Buzz Off Plum Street samplers. I've got a couple from Plum Street actually. I love Plum Street, so I'm just like literally working through them one at a time, like Prairie Moon, do one, finish that, move on to the next. I'm using the call for on this, which is a mix of Weeks and classic colourworks. Okay, so there's that. Why am I putting these away? I'm going to be taking photos of these when I've finished. Okay, so next one is is a drawn thread one. Another designer who I love. I've done a couple of drawn threads, and apart from one, I've given them all to my mum. I've got one of the Halloween patterns, Trick or Treat. I made it into a cushion, and I can't wait to bring that one out as well. Although to be honest, that's in my bedroom. That's always out because I'm Halloween every day of the year. Okay, so I decided that I wanted to do one for myself. I mean, I love the ones I gave my mum, and to be honest, I'd have them. They're with my mum now. So I didn't want to do them again. I chose Sunnyside. Sorry, let me take it out. The light coming in at an odd angle at this time. I chose Sunnyside Sampler. There we go, by the drawn thread. And this is where I'm up to on this. Just do a little bit of organisation down here. I can put my head down now and not have to worry about, you see, my horrendous grey roots, because let me tell you, they were horrendous. Here we go. This is coming along nicely. Now, on this one, because it wouldn't be the same if there wasn't some kind of personalisation, I have used the wrong colour green on these letters. It should be this darker green that you can see here. At the moment I'm liking it, but I'm waiting to finish everything before I get back onto the letters, and then I'll make a decision. At the moment I can live with it, well, more than live with it. You know, it looks absolutely fine with me. It looks absolutely fine to me, but I'm going to wait until, as I said, I finish the whole row and then see if it stands out enough. But I want to show you, and this is what I think the drawn thread just do beautifully. And it was the same on, I think it was Garden Gate. It had lots of like little insects like bees and butterflies and things like that, and so does this. And these are done over one, but there's like a butterfly, this butterfly or dragonfly, and this bee. I've still got to backstitch the wings on it, but they're like done over one, and the effect is just stunning. I think they're absolutely beautiful, the drawn thread designs. They really are. There's a lot of little fiddly stitches on them, but they're not too difficult, and they give really good diagrams on how to do them. If I can, so you know, they'll give you instructions on how to do them all. So I really enjoy doing them, and like I said, the effect is just glorious. One thing I did mean to say about Prairie Moon, if anybody's thinking about doing Prairie Moon, especially if you're somebody who uses Ada, is they have so many quarter stitches and 3/4 stitches on, and I don't just mean the odd ones, you know, sprinkled here and there. I mean there's tons of them, especially in this Crypt series. So if I show you, so all the way up here, quarter stitches, all the way here, 3/4 quarter stitches. Everywhere there's a crossover, there's quarter, 3/4 stitches, all around the skulls, the bones, the feet, everywhere basically there are 3/4 and quarter stitches, but also no clear guidance on where the quarter and where the 3/4 stitch is. So you have to stand back and go, okay, so that sleeve will be over this pink jacket, so this needs the 3/4 stitch and that needs the quarter stitch. So you have to work that out, because sometimes it's not always the clearest. So you need to work that out, and then you need to get your stitches in there. So it's obviously it's more than possible on Ada to do quarter, half, 3/4 stitches. I've done it myself on Ada, but I'm just saying, if you're not that comfortable, you may want to either take your time or you know, select a different fabric. But just a quick warning about these, there are tons of them. So yeah, so that was the drawn thread. Next one. Okay, so this is Jeanette Douglas, and it is so this is one of my Whip Go projects. So I think most people now are in the know of this. Whip Go as in bingo, but a W for whips. So it's 25 squares, 25 numbers. One of them is a free one, and then you just put projects in all the sorry, let me start that again. Hi. So it's a bingo board, so there are 25 spaces, and one of those spaces is a free one, and all the others you fill however you want to fill them. So 2 numbers are drawn each month, and whichever square is picked, and whichever 2 squares are picked, you work on those 2 things for that month. So for me, let's make it easy here for me. I have a number of projects in there where I'm basically saying that I'll do 5 sessions a month on those projects. So for example, this one here, I've actually worked on a little bit more, but I've worked on at least 5 sessions of either 1,000 stitches or 4 hours, whichever comes first. Because these aren't on my pattern keeper, and I don't count stitches if they're not on pattern keeper, because that's just takes its own amount of time, I went on 4-hour sessions. So this month, this is one of my Whip Go patterns, and this is Jeanette Douglas, and it's Hollandse Merklap. I'm sorry, I completely butchered that, but there we go. It's an Jeanette Douglas, as I said, and it's this absolutely beautiful sampler. I mean, absolutely gorgeous. I spent about 6 months saving up, however, for all the very expensive threads, but I knew this one was going to be something I was going to have properly framed and everything, so I wanted to get all of these glorious threads. I don't know if you can see all of these up here, these lovely variegated ones. So I treated myself on this and splurged out for the threads. And the call for fabric, which is just, it's a fairly straightforward one actually, it's just light mocha by Zweigart, 32 count. Now the pattern says 1/2 on here, but I think for 32 count you really do need to do 2/2. So that is what I have done again, and absolutely loving this one. Okay, Kat, you need to get out the way, sweetheart. So this is split, the pattern is split into, I think it's 5 or 6 bands. So I have done the first band, which takes you to here upwards, and there we go. Jeez. There we go. That is what I have done. So this border is a lot easier to do than it looks. So next time I pick this up, I may actually just do a full session on the border just to get a big chunk of that done. So it's, you know, I hate it when it's always the last thing you have to do is you know, a big chunk of the border. But I am loving it, and the variegation on those letters, that thread is just lovely. And those hearts there, you can see in white, these are just like satin stitches that are done to look like the hearts there. So I've just got to do some back stitching around the letters, so it will look like that, the bubbling around the letters. But I'm going to do that last of all, because I don't want them to get screwed up, because I use a Q-snap, so I don't want it to accidentally get caught. But no, I've really enjoyed working on this. It will be coming out again this year. I'm not, now that I've done everything on Whip Go, going to put it away, but I just wanted to get a good start on it before I did move on to something else to constantly, you know. Excuse me, I'm absolutely shattered. Yeah, so I'm really happy with that. I think it looks absolutely lovely. I think with this plain material, it really lets the stitching shine on here. So I'm really happy with that. So yeah, there we go. That is my first Whip Go for this month, and I have reached my target on it. Although I may do one more session on it this month. I'll see how I feel. Pop that away. Why am I putting them away? I'm going to be taking a photo of them in a bit. Okay, next one is, let me dig it out. This is Teresa Colgate. This is in, I love this bag. This is William Morris fabric. This is Patchworkpawprint. Nice big size. I need to bring the picture up on my iPad on this. This was a PDF. So this is Teresa Colgate, and it's called Oh My Soul. Here we go. Now, this is not my normal... Oh, sorry, I thought an alarm was going off there. This is not my... there we go. yeah, I'll have to do it at an angle. There we go. It's not my normal style, but I just absolutely fell in love with this. Absolutely gorgeous. So it's full coverage. Oh yeah, that's full coverage. But I'm really enjoying it because it just goes by so quickly. This is on 32 count. I think this is just some kind of raw from, it's not Swigart, I think this is thingamajiggy. Witchult again. And I am working on, oh, there we go. I'm working over here downwards. So, learn to fold some material, Kath. So there you go, so that's where we are now. So I'm just about to start on some of the good stuff. So it's whether or not I'm strict and do more of this and start filling in these gaps, or I say sod it and just start on the face. I haven't yet decided. But this is really relaxing stitching. I really enjoy this. So yes, that's Oh My Soul, Teresa Colgate on 32 count. Oh, sod it, I'll just put them away. That's what my brain seems to want to do. So there we go. Next one. This is my 24/7 or 25/7 project. So what that is you work on this project every day. So that's your 7 days a week for, in my case, at least 25 minutes. To be honest, I've been doing slightly more than 25 minutes since I started this, which I think was Monday I started doing this. But well, let me show you what it is and then you'll see why I've chosen this and why I'm determined to do it. It's actually one of my oldest whips that's not a Haid, and it's Lindy Stitches Mary Mary Needleworker. Now, this is, I would say, one of the first, I'd say maybe the 5th or 6th pattern I did, and at the start I was doing everything on 28 count because I hadn't really heard of all the different magnification things you could use, because I've got crap eyes basically and I need help really on 28 count. But I hadn't realised that you could, you know, you had 32, 36, 40 and beyond count. That basically meant that it was a lot less stitching. But I'm doing this on 28 counts, and I don't know if you've noticed, but that's a docking great big skirt there, and that's a lot of stitching that goes into that, and I love this pattern. So I'd done a lot of this top bits, just a few little fiddly things that I haven't done, and I'd started on the wording, but then as I started stitching on that blue thing, this is because I was a rookie and I didn't realise there was other ways of doing it, and still to get a nice effect is I was doing my X's one at a time going across like that, and actually hate stitching that way. Now I would do it completely differently, but I started doing that way, and to change now would just make it look, it just would not look good. So that's what's put me off stitching it. But I love the pattern. I would love to have this hanging somewhere, so I committed to get the bloody stitching done in that skirt. So I did try 25/7 once before, and it like lasted 2 days, and then I fell in love with another pattern and started working on that. But this time I've been really strict with myself. I said, no, Catherine, you're gonna bloody do that skirt. You know you love it, that pattern, you know you want to get it done, so let's just work on it. And so I have, and I've actually got quite a bit done of it. So I'm rather pleased with myself, to be perfectly honest. And I'm actually enjoying stitching it. I'll have inserted in somewhere a picture of what it looked like last time you saw. So what I've done is I've finished off the border of the skirt, finished off the lettering now, and I'm more than halfway through of stitching it, and I think it looks really good. I think the effect of doing 1x at a time is lovely, and it does look lovely, but it's just very, very labour intensive when you could do like 1x, you know, one leg over and then come back and still get a nice variegation. Maybe not as strong a variegation as this, but you do still get a variegation. But you know, I've committed now to doing 1x at a time, so I'm going to carry on doing it. And you can actually, what I've found is out of one session I'll get a couple of rows done, maybe like 2 to 3 rows done, and it is chipping away at it. So I'm going to carry on having this as my 25/7 until the entire thing is done. I'm going to do all of it that way, unless one week I decide, you know what, I'm just going to hammer this out, get it done. But at the moment it's my 25/7 one, and I'm really happy with the progress. What I'm doing is taking a picture every day, and what I might do when it is finally finished is do just like a little flip charty thing at the end of the video, so you can just see how day by day it's kind of got chipped away at. That is if I remember every day to take the sodding picture. I have so far, but me and my minds and the way work's going at the moment, it's, you know, it's, the battle is remembering to actually stitch on it every day, never mind take a picture. But anyway, yes, that's Mary Mary, and that's on, sorry, it's just a pink Zweigart. It's not mottled, that, it's just a lovely pink, a nice soft pink, and yeah, just 28 count Zweigart. That's Mary Mary. Oh, and the other thing about doing on 28 count is I am going through this Wheat Dye Works Seafoam so quickly. I had to buy an absolute ton of it. Okay, so that's Mary Mary. I have 2 more. Next one is my Cricket collection, one of my seasons. So I have spring up there, and I am now working on summer, which will look like that. Let me take it out of here again, sorry. This is a new start, this I've started that in the last, I think it was last week I started this. So it will look like that when it's finished. Oh yes, hello sweetheart. No, there's no more treats here. I know that's not the only reason you've come up here. It's not out of a deep and enduring love for me, it's because you want treats. So this is my Friday stitch, and I've not actually had a chance to work in it today. I don't know if I'm going to have a chance to do any stitching today. Literally the only stitching I've done is work on my 25/7 project today, that's it. But here we are. I have done the sun in the centre. Oh, hang on. Sorry, let me. I have done the sun and started on one of the M's. However, I'm having second thoughts about the white I'm using on this. So it calls for just normal DMC. I think it's give me 1 second. It's just 3865, but I thought I'd be fancy and use up some of my flush or whatever the hell it is, that DMC one that's slightly thicker, and do 2 strands of that, because I used it in winter to do my snowman. But I'm going to carry on doing it and see what my stitches look like. They look absolutely fine, but do you know when you just get a little bit in your own head about what your stitches look like? I mean, I think they look fine. I don't think there's any obvious things. I just wanted it to stand out more, because on my spring the white just got lost, and I wanted it to really stand out on this pale purple fabric I'm using. But we'll see how that goes. I'm still a newbie enough that I'm still a little bit not so confident sometimes on what my stitches look like. I mean, most of the time it doesn't matter, because if it's a darker colour it doesn't really show, but when it's white and it's a startling white like that, you can really see, can't you, if your stitches look a bit wonky. And normally I don't care that much, but on these ones I really love them, and I want these to come out every year for as long as I can, so I want them to look quite nice, and I don't want to be looking at them in 5 years time going, oh god, I hate that. Anywho, that is Summer Cricket Collection, done on 28 count, same as all the other ones I've done, and again that's just a Witchelt purple. It's nothing, it's no special over dye or anything like that. Okay, the last thing I have worked on in the last 3 weeks is my, oh, I have a nice scratch there, is my other Whip Go project, and this is also a Cricket Collection one, and this is Skeleton Crew. Do you know what, whenever I say skeleton, nope, that's not Skeleton Crew, that's the other one. I always want to put a G in there for Skellington Crew for some reason, and I have to actually stop and think before I say it. Oh. There are no more treats. I am so sorry, but there are no more treats. No more treats. Okay, there we go. So that is a skeleton without a G crew. I'll insert the picture of what it was like last time I showed you. I had actually, so I have already done a FlossTube this month, so I had actually done some work on this as per go for April, but I have finished off and done more on this because I just really got into it, and I wanted to get these main ghosty type things done before I put it away for a little bit. So this is going to be a big dude. Again, this was started a while ago and it's done on 28 count. If I'd done it now, I probably would have done it on 32 count, but I'm not mad. I'm still loving this. And it's on Picture This plus Valor, and I think this turned out to be the perfect fabric for this. So there we go. I have done those 3 ghosties. That pumpkin head just looks brilliant, and that ship, this here is now the end of the ship. So let me bring this a little closer so you can see. There's the I'd done the bottom there, the ship and the prow there previously, but I've mainly concentrated on doing the ghosts. So there you go. No, come on, cat. Okay, come on, shoot, shoot. Shoot, shoot, shoot. There you go. I'm sorry, this is a mess. But if I pick up this cat now, she'll go crazy and I'll probably get claws in everything. There you go. Love it. So what I'm probably going to do with this is the same as what I did with my Witchy Stitcher Cryptid Stitch Along. She's got in the box with all my stitching. I wish I could show you this, but my phone is on a... What are you doing there, you? Hang on. She's mad, I tell you. She's absolutely mad for these treats. It's my own fault. I shouldn't have given her one, but hang on. This is my cat at the moment. So that big black shadow there is her trying to get in the box where all my where all my whips are. There you go. Yucky thumb cat. Yeah, so sorry. I've used the same material on my Witchy Stitcher Cryptid Stitch Along. So this 28 count Valor, and what I did it as a wall hanging with this nice thick blue material on the back, and it looks really good. So I figured I would do exactly the same on this one. And then this one can come out at Halloween, or to be honest, it'll be in my spare room out all the time. But, oh, sorry, let me put this the other way. Protect the stitching. So that is the last thing I have worked on, other than Mary Mary this today. But yeah, that is my and that is my last Whip Go project, and that means that I can cross out both of my WIP Go goals for April, which I'm really happy about, because that means that so far I have kept up with WIP Go and I have seen really nice progression on some of my larger, older projects. So I'm very happy with that. Bear me one second. Sorry. So I may have mentioned at the top of this video that there was a little bit of knitting to show. And here it is. So I have been working on this big shawl that's going to take for ages to do, because it's made up of 3 panels and I've only just finished one of the panels. So I am still working on that, but so I started a new job a couple of months ago, and I think I have mentioned this a couple of times because I moan about this a lot, sorry, but the office, I work from home and from the office. So when I go in the office, it's this big mill in Oldham. So Oldham's famous in the UK for, you know, mills that were built like over 100 years ago, and they're just like these massive brickwork buildings, and a lot of them obviously they're no longer used for that, so they're being converted into offices or flats or whatever. But this, oh, sorry, there's my other cat there. That's my diabetic cat Tabby, who is doing so well. Oh, that reminds me, what time are we on? No, 5 for time. I'm just gonna sit there. Okay, so what was I saying? Yeah, so it's an old mill building. It's massive. It's like 3 floors, like really high ceilings, all exposed brickwork and glass, and heating doesn't even begin to touch it in these offices. And so the office I work in is absolutely freezing. So what I've had to do is dig out my old, a really old winter coat I've got, that's actually given to me by my sister, that is basically a duvet with arms in. It's one of those big puffer type coats that you dig out when it's like really cold. Well, I'm having to use that in my office. But what I'm also wearing is, when it's not practical to wear that, I'll put a big jumper on as well with a cowl on. And I have one that I made when I first started knitting last year, but that's got a few mistakes in it, and I'm just wearing that over and over again. So I thought, you know what, I'm just going to knit myself another one. They're really easy to knit up. There you used DK. It's DK in the UK, I think. Is it worsted or something like that in America? I can't remember the conversion. But you also use the marl technique, so that's 2 strands of it. So it's even, you know, it's even bulkier, but it knits up so quickly. So again, I've been using up my Vivacious Fyberspate that I've been using on all of my knitting projects. So I bought a job load of it, and I'm like, I am going to use this up. Oh, now my other cat's come to. This is Greya here. So we've been visited by everyone. I think it's because it's their dinner time soon, so they're all coming to say, "Oi, feed us." Hello, there you go. Okay, so I decided to knit myself another one of these because it is still actually, there's a bit of a chill in the air here in the UK. So, but here we are. It's a 3-colour fade. So you start off with 1 colour using 2 strands, then you switch out it for your second colour and the original colour, then you go 2 strands of the second colour. So I've done that. So now I'm switching on to a mix of this second colour and the third colour. So this is magenta. This was purple imp, I think, and this is Peacock, and I am really loving it because this is so soft and this is nice and thick, and once I've blocked it out, it just fits lovely around my neck and covers, you know, the shoulder area here. So that's lovely and warm. So this is what I've been working on, and this literally I've knitted up just working on it a little bit in the evening, and this has taken about a week because it is so quick to do. Whereas the other one I'm doing, which is just 1 strand of 4 ply, is taking ages. But I will do it because I want that that shawl. But anyway, yeah, so there's that. And this is such easy stitching. As you can see, it's just ribbing. It's 2x2, knit 2, purl 2. But so I started it off, and by the second row I'd screwed something up, then tried to fix it, made it worse, so I had to pull it all back out again. Second time I tried to do it, because it's using the long tail cast on method, I didn't give myself enough on the long tail bit, so I had to start it again. Then I did it and was knitting it up perfectly, no mistakes on it, then realised I had made mistakes, then had to learn how to convert from purl to knit and knit to purl, blah blah blah. So it's had about 3 starts, but now I'm very happy with it. No twisting of stitches. Yes, I've had to tinker it back a few times since then, but it's looking great. And you know, practically halfway through, so this hopefully should be done in the next week or so. But anywho, yeah, that's my knitting. So that was out of necessity. I needed a second cowl because I was fed up of wearing the same one every single day. Okay, purchases. There have been a few, literally a few, not saying, oh, there's just a few and then there's millions. Not that there's anything wrong with that, but there's just been a few. So the first one is the fault of one of my commenters from last, I think it was last, my last FlossTube, when I mentioned the Barrick pattern, the Moons of 2022. I said that, you know, there's no, you know, I didn't want to, you know, buy it and then it would take me ages to do, and then I'd have this thing for the Moons of 2022 and it would probably be next year before I finished. And she very helpfully said that she'd bought the pattern, but what's included in the pattern is the Moons for 2023. So that was that then. So I knew I'd have to get it, and in fact this is going to be, if not started before then, I will probably start this for my birthday. But I have bought Barrick Moons of 2022 and also Moons of 2023. So there we go. So I got that straight away. Love it. And now my I am not going to get the silks for this, because even though I'm sure they are glorious, it's all MPIs and there's quite a lot of them. And then when I price them up, because that, the blue that's in the sky and the trees and all of that, you need several skeins of that. And when I priced it up on 123 Stitch, it was like nearly £60. So I was like, nah, DMC, or I might see, I've got a load of colour and cotton and things like that. I might have a look for them, but I'm not using the MPI on that. I mean, no. So yeah, I mean, it's a glorious pattern. I think it will absolutely glorious with DMC or with some other cotton. So I'm just going to stick to that. But yeah, absolutely love that pattern. So that is going to be a start at some point, either before or on my birthday, which is in August. So that is one of my purchases. What else is there? Ah yes, I got, so again in my last video I showed you some floss organizer, a floss organizer I bought from BeamingBadger. Well, I bought 2 more, and because I actually really enjoy using these, and I actually got my name, well, my, you know, Cat V stitches put into it. So this has got 24 holes in it, and I got 2 of these. So, and these are only £7, and you could choose to have what you wanted, because obviously they don't all say Cat V stitches, because that would be a weird coincidence. But you can choose to have what you want engraved into them. So these are plywood, I'm assuming. So she burns them into that, and it's just so neat. And this is very smooth. There's no sorry, that's just a bit of fluff, not the actual, this is fluff, not the wood itself. They're very smooth, and so I'll show you what I've been using another one on, a smaller one, on my Teresa Colgate one, which is where is it? There it is, so I use it, I just take some strands of the DMC that's needed from my master one and just put it on like that. So then it's just it's the full length, so you can just easily pick it off as you're going, and it just makes it so much quicker. So that's how I'm using them. So I bought 2 of them. There you go. So that is on Etsy. It's based in the UK and it's called BeamingBadger, and the details will be in the notes below. So what else have I bought? Oh yes, I bought another project bag. So this is again from Patchworkpawprint, the same place I got this one with the William Morris designs on. This is another of his. This is the strawberry one. Again, it's this large one with the thingy, whatever this is called, mine's gone, plus a matching floss organizer. So this captures any bits of floss you've got. So I just couldn't say no to this design. It's beautiful. So that's on the inside and that's the outside, and it's such amazing work. I mean, don't get me wrong, these are not the cheapest of the cheap, but I wouldn't the amount of work that goes into this and the actual perfection of the stitching on this, it's just perfect. So I'm more than happy to pay what I paid for these. And as I said, these are the large ones as well, so you can, you know, with the matching thing in there, I just absolutely love them. Perfect size, fit it, you know, for fitting in Q-snaps and whatnot. Okay, so I bought 2 other patterns, but these are PDF patterns. First one is from Bendy Stitchy, so Michelle Bendy Stitchy, and this is one of her ones that was at Expo 2022, and it is Vase from Thrace. Sorry, make sure I say that right. And when I saw this pattern, I just absolutely fell in love with it. Here it is. Let me just bring this up. Oop, not to show the pattern. There we go. I think it's absolutely glorious. She uses dinky dyes, and I am going to get the dinky dyes for this, and this could be another birthday start, or again possibly before, but I just love the colours of it, the design as well obviously, but I just absolutely love it. When she first showed this, I was just bowled over by it. I couldn't find anyone in the UK that was selling the paper pattern for it, so I had to wait until it came out on her website in PDF, but I got on there as soon as I could and got that. So absolutely love it. So that's Vase from Thrace. There you go. And then my other newbie is new to me. I'm sure everybody's seen this. It's a blue flower. Strange things are seen on Halloween. So it's Halloween Parade. Come on. There we go. Yeah. I had seen this one and I kept meaning to get it. So I have now got it. There you go. It's going up a bit. There you go. Come on. There. Sorry. There we go. Halloween Parade, the blue flower. I have some fabric that's on the way to me from XG Designs, which I'll show when it comes, but that's for my restart of Halloween at Hawk Run Hollow. So once I've got that, that restart is actually on my Whip Go. I'll either wait I'll either wait until it appears on my Whip Go, or I'll start it if I can. Are you still there, sweetheart? Or I'll start it when it's ready to, or I'll start it before then, whenever that, I'm all for sweewie at the moment. Stitch what you want when you want. I mean, I know I do the Whip Go, but when I'm not doing whip go, I just basically stitch whatever draws my fancy. Okay, so those are my purchases. Plans. In the immediate future, 24 hours of cross stitch. My plan is to start zombies and potentially also start my next Carolyn Manning project. So that's Amethyst up there. I'm next looking to start on Peacock. Let me show you what this looks like. Peacock Topaz. So it's part of the Shooting Star collection. I'm going to do this now. I was either thinking of doing it on 16 count or 18 count. So 16 count, I've not got the fabric for it yet, but I've not got the 16 count Ada. That's in back order. Well, no, sorry, let me put that another way. I'd put in an order for Lakeside Needlecraft for some needles and the 16 count Ada, but the needles aren't there yet, so I just said to wait until the needles are in and then just send me everything. But I have it in 18 count. It's just a basic Swigart Ada. That's, I think it's like a pale greeny type colour, I think. And I'm wanting to do it 2/2, but I'm unsure of that. So I'm going to try it and see if it's not too bulky or whatever. Although saying that, I stitched 36 count 2/2 and it works out brilliantly. So you know 18 count and 30 and 36, it's practically the same thing. So potentially, sorry, I've just waffled on. You didn't need to know all of that rubbish, but potentially I could be starting. I'm sorry, the light's gone really bad here, hasn't it? Let me just switch a light on. I won't be a second. Oh, I've just kicked over all my finishes. Sorry, talk amongst yourselves. There we go. Okay. Sorry, the light's just really weird at the moment. I'd not put my ring light on or anything because I hate it when you can see the ring light in your glasses, and I'd hoped that it would be a little bit more brighter outside, but I could see this getting blurrier and blurrier in the background, and I thought, no, I better put my light on. Yeah, so I may start that Carolyn Manning one, depending on how, well, I'll start it and I'll either carry on if I think the stitches look okay, or I may halt that until I get my 16 count and just do it on that. But anyway, those are my starts. Those are my plans for the weekend, just to stitch, stitch, stitch and stitch. And then potentially I'm going to, for the rest of this month, focus on one of my heids, and that's evening. I've not got it here, but I may do that, and there could be another start. I don't know yet. I'm not going to pin myself down to anything because I say things on here and then a day later I'm like, nah, I don't want to do that, and then in my next video I'm like, yeah, didn't stick to any of those plans. So I'm definitely going to start the Prairie Moon one. That's a definite one. I'm definitely going to stitch away like crazy for the next 2 days. That's a definite. Other than when Whip Go gets called for May, doing those 2 projects, everything else is a who knows. Okay, so that's plans, that's whips, that's purchases, that's my hair, never looking this good until I'm next at the hairdressers. What have I been watching? Okay, so I have been watching Moon Knight on Disney Plus, and I am absolutely loving it. It is my new favourite Disney Plus Marvel show. I absolutely adore Oscar Isaacs. I think Ethan Hawke is amazing. So yeah, if you've not watched that yet, and I mean, even if it's not so much that you love all the Marvel stuff, if you love like the Indiana Jones type things, you'll really enjoy Moon Knight. So that's one of the things. I finished watching Severance, which is the Apple TV one. Even if you only get Apple TV for like 1 month or 2 months, or there's loads of deals out there where you can like get it for X amount for free or whatever, just do it to see Severance, because that is an amazing TV series, and the first season has just finished and they're going to do a second one. So you know, a lot of people think, well, what's the point in watching this one when it's, you know, we're not going to get a second season. You've got to watch this. It is brilliant. Even if it means, if you can afford it, shelling out for Apple TV for a month or 2 months. There's loads of other good stuff on Apple TV as well, but for Severance alone, I would pay for it. I rewatched Westworld as well. I just did it last weekend. And a couple of evenings this week, I rewatched all 3 seasons of Westworld. It's one of my favourite TV shows ever. Season 3 perhaps not as good as 1 and 2, but still really good. And I know season 4 is in the bag now, so that's coming soon. So I just thought I'd, you know, give myself a reminder of everything that happened, but it's still top-notch TV show. Other than that, it's just been my normal podcasts. Conan O'Brien Needs a Friend, My Favourite Murder, a new one called Disgraceland, which is stories about, well, if you like podcasts, just look up Disgraceland and you can see what it's about. It's just all, it's hard to explain. It's a guy who has been brought up in the music scene in LA and all of that, and he's basically picking a different band or different situation each week and going into the background of it, and it's fascinating. But he's like a storyteller as well, so it's just it's an easy listen for 40 minutes, an hour, however long it's on for, and it, you know, he's got one of those voices where you can just drift away. So that, and then also my favourite one of my top 3 authors brought out a new book this week, so I have been listening stroke reading that. That's Ben Aaronovitch. Aaronovitch brought out his latest one, so yeah, I'm really enjoying that. Another reason why I perhaps will not get any other stitching done today is that I want to finish the bulk of that book because I am loving it. So, oh God, we're over an hour. I thought we were going to be less than an hour. Oh, okay, so life. Let's just do a quick life update for any of you who have managed to somehow stick it through to here. Well done. Life, you know, apart from the new bra and the new hair, it's just mainly been working, helping out at my parents', carpet cleaning at their house, various other jobs at their house. The most exciting thing that's really happened to me is that I bought a new microchip cat feeder. Well, I say I bought I actually accidentally bought 2 from eBay. I put an offer in one. I thought the offer had been, you know, somebody had come in higher, and so I went to another one and bought it on there. And then when I came back to check my emails, saw this email about, yeah, you're offer one on this, so can you make your payment please? And I was like, oh, so I bought 2 of them. Okay then. So I have 2 cats now. I've got 3 of these automatic feeders now because they were needed for 3 of my cats. They're always walking away from the food, and the others then come over, finish their food, then nick their food, and it's just an absolute mess at mealtime. So I'm yeah, you know, bought that. I've reduced my Diet Coke intake, so the money that I am saving now on Diet Coke that I was going to use to buy some nice silks, I'm now used to pay for automatic pet feeders. They're not automatic pet feeders. What they are is they only open up for a certain microchip. So it basically means that, you know, I'll put food in and only one of my cats can get the food out of it. It's not like on a timer or anything like that. But they're not cheap, let's just put it that way. But when you've got 5 cats and they all insist on eating the food that they shouldn't be eating, you've got to do these things. But I think that's pretty much it for me. Sorry this is all a bit blah, but I just wanted to get this in this evening, and I don't know if I'm going to get it up today, but I'm certainly hoping to get it edited and, you know, rendered down, and then perhaps tomorrow morning I'll upload it onto YouTube for anyone who is interested. I'm always amazed when people do watch these things, but I'm always grateful that when people do watch it, that quite a few do also comment and, you know, have lovely things to say. I always love that, and I know sometimes I can't quite respond back straight away, especially if work's been a bit manic, but I always do try to respond to every message down there. And please know that I appreciate every single one, and, you know, every single thumbs up, or every single subscription or whatever. I truly appreciate it. I just really enjoy doing these videos. It keeps me motivated. You know, I organised, well, I didn't organise, kind of organised my floss this week as well, and because, you know, it can get messy very quickly, and I needed to keep track of what I had in, you know, what I had of everything, so I wasn't buying multiples when I didn't need them. But the problem you have is when you're doing that, you actually realise how much you have, and then in the back of your mind you start thinking of how much over the past however long you've actually spent on it, and then you also start thinking of all the other things that you could have bought if you hadn't have done this. But then you have to say to yourself, but I'm actually really enjoying this. So that's up there at the moment, but my other Prairie Moon one has been up there this week, and I mean that brings me joy as well. But that's normally in my lounge where I can see it in there. But I have my other Prairie Moon one up there, so I've got that one there, that one in the middle, and then the other Prairie Moon one there. And when I walk past them, even if I am feeling all stressed out and just, you know, in my own head and things like that, I see them, and the spring one as well, which I absolutely adore, and they just make me smile. They just bring me joy. And that calms me down, and I'm like, you know what, yeah, I've invested quite a bit in this, but I'm really enjoying it. These videos are an amazing way of me to track my progress and, you know, and to keep me accountable, but I don't feel like there's a pressure to do these, because there have been times when I've been, you know, I've gone quite a bit in between videos, and that's absolutely fine, but I enjoy doing them. I enjoy communicating with people, and I enjoy sharing, you know, the love I have for this with like-minded people, because there's nobody in my life that actually does cross stitch. My parents appreciate it. You know, my mum has loved all the things I've given her, but none of my friends cross stitch or have an interest in cross stitch. Don't get me wrong, they're not, you know, they don't make comments about it or anything, but it's not something that you know, I could share with them and they'd have an interest in it. So this I really appreciate. And at the moment I'm enjoying doing these videos, so, you know, because I get a chance to chatter about crap for an hour. But anywho, what I'm trying to say is I really do appreciate anyone who does leave a comment. Thank you. You know, I love them all, I love reading them, and although it may sometimes be a couple of days before I do respond, please know that I'm reading everything, I'm loving them all, and I really do appreciate it. So, I'm going to leave it there, because me being me, I really could ramble on for another hour if I allowed myself to. I may actually do a Stitch With Me in a couple of weeks, in which case I can ramble on for about an hour, but I'm going to draw a line on this one and wish you all the best. I hope you are all keeping safe and well, and happy stitching.